Hi guys, this is a part two. This is a prophecy update video. This is a part two to the video that I did the other day about these Orthodox saints who foresaw the current events that we're living in with Iran and Israel. Some things have been happening, as you may have seen on the news. There's a lot of weird stuff going on, and I want to talk about it in this video. And I found out, I'm going to share later in this video, I may have a personal connection to someone who might be in the know in the high ranks of the US government, but we're going to have to talk about that later because I don't know for sure what this person knows or not, but they may have slipped up and said something the other day. So I hope, if God is willing, I can be in the know. So basically, the recent news is that the U.S. is behaving like there's going to be a war in Iran, and between the U.S. and Iran and Israel and all of that. And I believe that is a very real possibility. Now, I'm trying in my mind. This video is just going to be me kind of just intellectually talking about how I'm processing all this. I'm trying to figure out exactly how this plays into the prophecies, because this isn't exactly what you think of when you think of the Orthodox World War III prophecies. You think of a war between Turkey and Greece. That's what St. Paisios predicted. Now there's this thing with Israel and Iran, which was predicted, but it's not quite clear what the connection is supposed to be, I think, of how we're going to transition. All this other Metropolitan, not Paisios, the other one who I mentioned in the other video, he said that something's going to happen with Turkey, that Erdogan will fall, and that's the next sign. And once we get to that point, perhaps what will connect these two prophecies is whoever is the next ruler of Turkey will get into a war with Greece, and then the whole thing with, Russia coming down and all of that. But I have a strong feeling, and I'm going to share something away, and you'll see my thoughts why I think like this. I have a very strong feeling there will be a big war, and the United States will get sucked into it. And part of the reason why I think that has to do with Canada. That's going to sound very shocking, but hear me out. So I am an American, but for the last 5 years, I've had this feeling. I don't even know if feeling is the right word or just my observations of the world. I felt like we're going to be on the verge of World War III. This is going to be a turbulent decade. And so I've been wanting options to get out, okay? So last year I applied for Canadian citizenship because I found out I was eligible. And I became eligible as the grandchild of a Canadian citizen for citizenship due to some changes that they made to the laws in Canada. And I just am almost about to get it. I was approved, so I will get it, but I still have to take an oath. So I'm not a citizen yet, but it's finalized. I'm going to become a citizen. I just have to take my oath, which will happen at the end of this month, and I will be not a dual citizen, because I already am a dual citizen. This is going to be my third citizenship. I'm going to be a triple citizen, but that's all beyond the point. But my thought is, what are the odds I get this approved? The other day, I got the email. I was approved for Canadian citizenship. Right now, when there's a huge war possibly about to explode and these prophecies saying the big events are going to come, my mind goes, does God want to protect me? And he's made a path for me to go to Canada. Because maybe Canada will be a safe, neutral country like Switzerland was during World War II. And I live very close to the border. There are no coincidences. This is something my dad tells me. He learns from older people at church. There are no coincidences. Once you get to be really old, you don't believe in coincidences anymore. But anyhow, back to the current events. It appears that the U.S. is sending a lot of aircraft over to the Middle East, aircraft carriers. It really looks like we're going to get involved. And the fact these things fell into place for my Canadian citizenship right now makes me think we will get involved, and the draft is going to come back, and God's going to save me from that. I probably wouldn't be drafted anyway because I have some medical diagnoses, but you never know. So I want to talk now about um, I want to talk about these more about these prophecies and crap. I have such bad ADHD. I'm so sorry, guys. Um, oh, I know what I have to talk about. Our friend, the CIA lady. Okay. So I mentioned I may have a connection to stuff. So my mom has a friend who works for the CIA, but she's not allowed to say it. She's supposed to say she works for the State Department. And I really suspect she knows things. And I'll have to save that for another video why I suspect that. But I have some pretty good evidence that she's into things that she's not telling us about. Well, she mentioned the other day that her team at work is tracking these missiles. We had no idea she was up with big, high up people. We thought she was just an IT person for the CIA, which is her background is IT. Um, but very interesting. So I'm going to try to see if I can kind of joke with her, extract some information. But it feels so strange. Tell me in the comments if you guys can relate to how strange it feels to see these prophecies unfolding. And it, you know what? Maybe it's meant to be because honestly, it's helping me have faith. I want to talk more on this channel about my struggles with my faith that I've had, but it helps me have faith seeing it happen. So please subscribe if you want to come along my faith journey with me. That's all I have to say tonight. I'm going to try to post at least once a day going forward. I have so much I want to talk about to do with faith and religion, and just I have so many interesting things. Like I was in a cult at one point. I kind of want to share that story, and I there's just so many things that I want to talk about on this channel. So please subscribe.